Okay, cool. Welcome to our first technical video. So what I'm going to explain in this video is the usage of chat. Chat has been designed to be obviously an interactive sort of function within the CreditEase system. And it's basically built to be an online based system. So I'm going to basically take you through how to implement it on both web and Windows, and then give you a bit of a, not a summary, but maybe not a way of implementing it, but maybe an option to use for both web and Windows. Okay, so I think to start, let's look at the ERD. So the ERD has been designed with the assumption that certain structures in the current CreditEase system is being used, mainly subject types, user IDs, document library, and then an ID of anything that you link on a chat, basically assumed to already exist within the current CreditEase system. Our main object here, of course, is chat. Chat is a collection of messages and members and links and documents. From chat, basically, our members get linked onto a chat, and then from the member, you get a message or messages linked to a member, and then on the message, anything else gets linked, like your documents and your actual links to stuff. Stuff meaning anything that gets linked onto a chat. These two, the session and the user detail stuff, are just temporary stalls for now. So I'll publish this onto Slack once this video cast has been uploaded. So to implement from the web, we recommend that you basically use the dispatcher, or not recommend, but the architecture forces you to use the dispatcher. Dispatcher, it will be our little API into whatever lays behind our infrastructure. To access the dispatcher, it would be localhost /dispatcher, or in this case on a hosted environment, it is /keyconcepts dispatcher, and then /raml for documentation. Don't call /raml to implement it. Just use /raml for documentation. You will see it will give you a list of methods, and you can basically go into them, and it will give you documentation as well as sort of what it returns and the parameters it requires. I'm not gonna use the documentation here to explain to you. I'm actually gonna go to our AnyPoint portal, because this is where I actually start the design and then import it into .NET. To take you through our methods for chat. So basically we will start with user roles. User roles I don't think is that important at this stage, because it doesn't really get used in chat, so I'm going to skip that one. But if you want to have a look, just go into the delete post and get methods, and you can see what happens in there. So login is important. So login will basically log a user in, so you can take a username and a password, and it will return a JSON schema for you with basically an ID for that user that you can reuse in the system. It will bring back a session key, which is important when you call the logout function to log that user out of the session, and all other details around a specific user. Then we've got logout, and as I say, logout will log that user out. You just pass it that session key, and it will remove the user out of session. Chat specific, our important methods here are chat, the chat list, chat message, and then obviously chat members. So chat, post and get. The post basically will create a new chat object. Get will go and get you the full history of a chat. That means it will bring back everything associated with that chat. That would be all messages, all members linked to messages, all documents linked to messages, the whole history of that chat. Chat list is a list of chats within the system. So that would basically just bring back a list of with basic summaries of every chat, what the chat is about, chat ID, etc. No real details around the chat, just a list of chat messages. Of course, is the actual message. So there's post and get will bring you back a specific message based on an ID. Post will actually then add a message onto the chat. And then we've got chat members, which of course is who is part of that message, of the chat object. So there we've got post, get, and delete. Get, of course, will bring back details of that member. Post will add a member onto the chat, and delete will remove a member from the chat. So the flow of using this would be that you would basically either go and create a new chat, or you will go and get the chat list and pick your chat from that list, and then from there on add members or then add messages. So you cannot add a message, of course, if there's no member. So a message is associated with a member. So that's our first step in after creating a chat, is to add members, and from there on everything can flow. It's just important to know that after a message has been pushed into the system, you're going to have to call the chat get to refresh that screen, or to get the list of messages, or to get the whole chat history back. So it would basically be, if for instance I would create a chat, I would add members to a chat, and then I will start chatting. So I will do a post of a message, and then I need to call chat to get everything back. Post a message, then chat to get everything back. From the Windows point of view, then everything from that point of view has been summarized in the modules class, in the chat.cs file. So modules.chat, and in here every method have been summarized. So the theory is you can just reference this in Windows and then start chatting. Chat history, create chat, list the chats, add a member, remove, add messages, get messages, all in here. Now, to get started, of course, if you want to run locally, you can pull the code, compile it, and then implement it as explained. Just a note on Signal R is, so a decision has been made that we will use Signal R on the web-based implementation. The reason for that is Signal R is sort of almost a notification-based system, so it will actually push data back to you. I've done some research. There is notes on Slack. Just go check in our knowledge base that Signal R can actually be used on Windows as well. And because chat is interactive, you will need a network connection for it, or an internet connection for it. Maybe look into using Signal R. Maybe actually see if you can actually use the dispatcher instead of calling assemblies directly. I would definitely go for that option first, because chat is sort of useless without a connection, and it is an interactive thing. So maybe see and look if you can actually use that. I know Signal R can be used with WPF. So I'm not too sure about Windows-based stuff, but as I understand from Steven, WPF is what is used in certain parts. So maybe have a look at Signal R and the use of it on Windows as well. Okay, so if you've got any more questions on chat, please drop me a mail, send me a message on Slack. All of this will, of course, be available on Slack to consume. So I hope this video helped. Please let me know if it didn't, or if you find this more helpful, and we will actually create more videos like this. Thank you.